Hello everyone and welcome back to the lecture series C++ for Beginners. Today we will be starting off with coding for real as a part of the introductory module Programming 101 and environment setup. So first off we will set up the first project. So this is the VS Code window. First of all we will create a new folder. Like I would recommend having a separate folder for your C++ files. So you can go to file here and then open folder. So in my case, I already have a folder created. So I'm going to go over there and open it. But in case you do not have a folder, you can just you can go here, open folder, you can go to file here. You can click on open folder and then you can go to whichever location you want to have the folder in. You can click on new folder and get going. But in my case, I already have folder created. So I will be using that. So here I have opened my folder and yeah, so this is where we are going to type our code and let me start off. Oh, well, yeah, let me just type the code first. Hashtag include hash and include do not have a space in between. All right. See, you can see here that I have written IO stream. Sorry. Yeah, I have written IO stream and they are already giving me the next thing that I am supposed to type here, which is the greater than sign. So I will just click on tab from my keyboard and here it goes. Again, they are giving me the suggestions, so I'll just take it. Then we'll have, okay, all right, no, this is a bit too advanced for the first project. Yeah, I'll just write int main. You can actually start the curly bracket here itself, but I prefer to use the curly bracket in the next line. Like it just looks better, I think. And I'll write return 0, semicolon. Okay, now you can see they are also giving you a statement here. This is a simple C++ program that does nothing. So this is actually a comment. Like we get to that later. This is something that will not be compiled or executed when you run the program. But this is just for you to understand. Or suppose if someone else is reading your program, they can understand what you have written. So we'll get to this later. But yeah. So this is our very first program, okay? And this is an empty program. Like since you can see that we are returning 0, like I'll show you once we compile and everything. This will have no output. All right. So let me go to the compiler. Okay, since I already have the C++ environment set up in here, I don't have to do anything. But in case you are doing it for the first time, you will have to go here. The last option in the left panel here, this one here, extensions. And you type here C++. Yeah, so this one. So this is the C++ extension that you will require. So you can go here and install it. You would also need the C++ compiler. But in this case, like when you try to compile the program, you will get a pop-up in this region in the bottom right corner of your window, which will tell you to install the C++ compiler. And you can just click on install and the process will begin. So yeah, so you have the extension installed, you have the compiler installed. So now you can move on to compiling. So for compiling, we type C++ main dot cpp minus o main. Okay, so main is something which is not showing here in here, right? So we will save the program and we will call the file main.cpp. CPP like .cpp is the extension for the C++ file. So I'll save it. I'll save it in this obviously, since you have opened this folder itself, so when you save it, it will automatically save in the folder. You don't have to browse through any other folders. So I'll be naming this code as main.cpp, and I'll save it. So yeah, now this is main.cpp, and this is my, like, here it's the it's my code. Wait a second, I don't think I showed you how to get here, right? I'll do it. Okay, so this is my code, and this is something like, this is my code, and I've saved it. I've called it main.cpp. You can name it anything, but the extension should be .cpp. So next, for compiling and running, I will go here, terminal, new terminal. I think I had shown this in the previous lecture, the first lecture. So anyway, so again, I will be typing, since I already had typed it there. So I just pasted it here. So G++ space main dot cpp space -o space main. I'll click on enter. And yes, so this file is compiled. And this here, you can see here in the left panel, main.cpp. And before that, like right above the main.cpp file, we have main. So this is the executable file. All right. So I'll explain the code. I'll explain the compiling command after we finish running. So for running, in case you are using a Windows machine, this is the command you have to go for, main.exe. This is for Windows only. And if you're using Linux or Mac, you will have to type dot backslash main. Remember, backslash, it's not slash, all right? It's backslash. Backslash is the one in your keyboard, the one to the right of the full stop key. All right. So that is the symbol here. Since I'm using a Mac machine, I will be going with dot backslash main, and I'll press enter again. So yeah, this program finished, like we finished compiling and running the program. But since this is an empty program, we did not get any output, like there's nothing to show. It's just int main and return 0 and nothing else. Yeah, so this is the empty program. But in case you want to have an output, like obviously we would always want to have an output whenever we write a program. So in this case, we can type this here, COUT. Here, let's go with tab. Yeah, so COOUT less than hello world. This is the output and semicolon. So the output that you want as it is in your output panel should be written within quotes. It can be single quotes, it can be double quotes, that doesn't matter. But the output that you want as it is, like you could have written your name here. Like, let me just write my name here, that would be easier. Yeah, so this is my name, and I want this to be printed as it is in the terminal. So I will be writing this in within quotes. And yes, all these statements, every statement in C++ should end with semicolon. Like, we'll get to this later, but I still want to say this. Like, every statement that should be executed should end in semicolon. Like, you see, using namespace std, this is also ending in same as semicolon. But these are actually different things, include iostream and int main. These are not basic statements, so we are not ending in semicolon. And you can see int main, like basically see out the output and return 0. This is inside int main. Like int main is this whole block. The block from line number 6 to line number 9 is inside int main. All right. So yeah, so this is where int main is beginning and ending. But in case of a simple statement, we have to use semicolon to tell the computer and tell the compiler that this is where my sentence is ending. So yeah, so C out ends with semicolon, return 0 is also ending with semicolon. Then we'll compile and run it again. We'll come here to the terminal. And in this case, you don't have to type the compiling command and the executing command again. You can just click on up arrow, on the up arrow in your keyboard, in the bottom right side of your keyboard, there's this up, down, and left, right arrows, right? So you can click on the up arrow and you will get the suggestion. Like the last command that I executed in terminal was dot backslash main, right? And before that, it was g plus plus main dot, like that way. So this is what I need for compilation. So I'll choose this and I'll just press enter again. Yeah, so compiling is done again. And then we want to execute it. So I'll go with dot backslash main. Okay, I forgot to save it. So since I have made some changes here, main.cpp, previously main.cpp did not have the cout line, right? So since I added the cout line, I would have to save it again. So I saved it again, and let me run and compile it again. Compile and run it. We have to compile first and then run again, run later. So we compile it and now we running it. So here you can see this. This is my name, which is printed as it is, just like how I wanted. So here it is. Here is the output here. So yeah, this was our first program. Now let me talk briefly about the compilation process. You can see here the main.cpp. This is basically the source code. This is what we write in C++. And the compiler translates it into object code, which is the machine language, the language that is understood by the machine. And then your object code is combined with libraries to create an executable. So executable in Windows machine is very easily recognizable because it is called, like, will have the extension as .exe. But in case of Linux and Mac, it will not have any extension. It will be without an extension. So this is the one main. So this is my executable file. And about the command here, g++ space main.cpp space minus o space main. So basically, you know what? G++ space main.cpp would have done the compilation. I did not necessarily need to add minus o space main. But minus o space main gives me an option to choose the name for my executable file. So basically, writing minus o space main is giving me this one. Now let's try something else. Let me go with minus o and let me just write my program or something. Now you can see there is another executable file here created here, which is known as my program. Like this is basically the same file because we are compiling and running the same C++ program. But yeah, so you can see how minus o is used to like create it gives you the option to have a name for your executable file. So yeah, this is what it is. So yeah, then we have this executable file created, like be it main or be it my program, and the executable file is running in our computer. And this is run by the command dot main dot backslash main and backslash. You should remember that backslash is the correct one because it would not work if you are giving the single slash. Sorry, this is not backslash. I guess this is the single slash, right? This is the ordinary slash. It's not single slash. It's ordinary slash slash. Yeah, this is not backslash. I kept repeating backslash, didn't I? It was not backslash. It's actually just slash. Backslash is the one to the right of your third bracket key. And the one to the right of your full stop key in your keyboard, that is the normal slash. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry for my mistake. Yeah, so this was the whole code. Okay, let me talk about the extensions a bit, the extension that we would come across by using C++. First of all, we have .cpp. So .cpp presents the C++ source code, like this one here. Then we will have .exe in case of Windows machines and the one without any extension in case of Linux and Mac. So that will be the executable file, the file that is ready to run. And we will also come across a file which would end with .h. Like this is basically a header file. Like it contains declarations, like a menu for your code. In this case, if we were to have a .s file, I would have just gone with int main. Like the .h file basically tells you what all things is being done in your program and what all functions and everything the program contains. Like we'll come across this later when we have number of blocks. For now, I'm calling these blocks. These are like more than blocks basically. But yeah, for now, let's stick to blocks. So we'll have when we go forward with programming, we will have programs with many blocks. Like it would not just end with int main. So in that case, we can use a header file. We can like to tell for you to remember that you have written these blocks in your program and what they do. Suppose we are adding two numbers. So in this case, you can mention in your header file that you have created a block in which two numbers are being added or subtracted or like whatever you want. And also again, if someone else is reading a program, suppose they will also have a heads up after reading the header file what to expect from the code that you have written. Okay, so let me remove the semicolon here. Okay, you can see we already have a reddish uh thingy here, which is telling you that there's something wrong with your program. But yeah, but you don't know it yet, right? This is not very clear that you have made a mistake. And yeah, like these are the syntaxes, all right. Like this is somewhere you cannot make mistakes. Like hash and include cannot have a space in between. IOStream is written between greater than less than signs, right? That should be kept as it is. Like you cannot use any other symbols. And semicolon is always used to end statements. And to begin blocks, you always have to begin blocks using curly brackets. Int main or any other function, like these are basically called function, which we will discuss later in the course. Function is always ending with first brackets. So these are the syntaxes that you cannot mess with. Like you have to keep them intact. You have to remember where to apply what. But in case like obviously you guys are beginners, you can make mistakes, right? So suppose you have made a mistake and you forgot to type a semicolon here. Okay. So let's try running this one again. Let me save it. So I've saved the code and I'll run it again. I'm going with my program, my -0 space my program this time. So you can see here, they are showing you the error. Like they are showing you this one here. Error expected semicolon after expression. So they are showing you exactly where you made a mistake. Line number 7 after the closing quotes. This is how you are debugging a program. When you compile it, they are exactly telling you that like what your mistake is and where it is. So you can see here that line number 7, here is line number 7, and after the closing quotation mark, you should have a semicolon which is missing. So yeah, so it is pretty easy to find out your mistake here. Like they will give you the exact location where you have missed something or like might have had something extra. So this is how it works basically. So now you can just go here and reinstate the semicolon, save it again, and you will run it again. Okay, so next we compile it and now we'll run it. ./main. Now we are again getting the correct output. That is my name as it is. So yeah, this is how we wrote our first program, our very first program. First we started with an empty program which does nothing basically, and then we wanted to have an output here. So we are just running a program which is giving me the output of my own name as it is, and for that we are using quotation marks. So let me go over the program again. So include IOStream. This is what we are using namespace std. I will explain what these means later in the course. Then we have int main. So this is basically the main body of the program. And IOStream basically allows you to take input and outputs, like to put it simply. And yeah, so int main is the main body of the program. And here we are having an output, like I'm printing my name here. But previously what we did as our first job in programming, what we did was to just return 0 and like not print anything. But yeah, since like obviously you are writing a code, you would want to have an output. So I have written this line C out and my name, and this is being displayed here as the output. So, and yeah, and we talked about how important the syntax is. Syntax is not a word that you might hear in English language very much, very often. So, syntax is basically the grammar of a specific programming language. Like English has a specific grammar, right? Like you cannot just interchange, like, um, say for example, you cannot just interchange on and in. They are very similar words, right? But you cannot just interchange them, right? So this is how grammar is important for English. Like grammar is what helps you form sentences. Say similarly, syntax is also what helps you form sentences, like lines in your code. So this is how syntax is important to programming. So yeah, the syntax has to be kept intact. If not, then you will be having error of these sorts, which is, by the way, which can be detected by the compiler. And the compiler will let you know that you're having an error um, in so and so line and in so and so location. So yeah, it's not like the compiler turns a blind eye to your error. Like this is how you actually find out that you have an error. Uh, like without the compiler, you'll just have a reddish, like the text here would be in red color and there will be some red underline in here and you would not, like the error would not be very clear. But thanks to the compiler tells you that the error is right here and this is what you need to correct. So yeah, you corrected the error and run it again and then your like program is running as it should. So yeah, this was our very first program and I don't think I've missed out on anything. Yeah, we wrote a program, we compiled it, we run it, and then we installed extensions, like compilers, and we used VS Code for the first time. And yeah, like I had said previously in the first lecture that I would be using VS Code for the entirety of this course, because like it supports many languages, which is why I stick to VS Code. And yeah, so that's about it. And in case you've forgotten, like when you are starting VS Code, you are supposed to go to File here, open folder, create a new folder if you already haven't. And in case you're like you're gonna, after today's session, right, you're going to close this window and like go about your work, right? So when you open VS Code again, you are going to go here, File and open folder again. Like this is what you're going to do since you're going to have your C++ code in the same folder, right? So you are going to have to open folder every time you open VS Code. And for terminal, you are going to go here and click on new terminal, and then you have a new terminal here. Or if you want a clean terminal, you can go here to the right side and you can see a bin option, a bin icon here. Click on this one and you can hide the terminal for now. So yeah, that was about it, I guess. Um, yeah, and we went over what we learned today. So, alright, I hope you guys clearly understood our first program. If not, feel free to write to me in the comments below. Let me know in case you have any doubts and queries regarding this lecture or the previous one, or like anything or any other, like you might want to add something in this program or something, like you might have some query if we can write so and so thing in so and so way. Like, feel free to write it down in the comments below. I am looking forward to reading your suggestions, if any, regarding this lecture series. Yeah, so this is like we are done with our introductory lecture. In the next lecture, we'll start off with our like first module. We have finished the introductory module. And yeah, that's it for today. And see you guys in the next video. Yeah, until then, good luck to you and bye-bye.